If fear is the only thing stopping us from achieving our dreams, and we only fear what we don't understand, then the antidote to fear is knowledge. All we have to do is find out who has the knowledge that we need to conquer our fears and achieve our entrepreneurial dreams. My name is Callum Walker, and welcome to the podcast that will help you figure it out and conquer this lonely entrepreneurial journey.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the International Podcast today. The International Podcast. Why is it the International Podcast? Well, I am international right now. I am not in the UK. I am in a very, very special place for me, which is Dubai. Why is Dubai very special to me? Because I grew up here, basically. As a family, we were here for many times throughout the year. We'd go on holiday, we'd travel around here, all of that. And then I actually went to school here. So my mum and dad made the decision and made the plunge to move us out here when I was younger. And I went to school here for a bit, which is why most people can never understand that I'm actually from Birmingham, because when they hear me, they're like, I have got no idea where your accent is from. Most people think I'm Australian. But I'm not Australian. I'm actually from Birmingham, but I went to an international school for a little bit, which is why my accent is sometimes a bit strange. And Australian stuff can kind of creep out. Now, today's episode is not a day in the life of Callum. Like, okay, great, Cal, really appreciate you telling me why your accent is kind of strange. That's not the purpose of today. But there's an amazing lesson that I've got from Dubai, which I think can really, really help you, one, as an entrepreneur, but also it really reveals what I think is the biggest mistake that pretty much not every coach, but that most coaches do make in the industry. So I think the first thing is, in terms of this mistake, it's interesting because if I look at Dubai and you speak to a lot of people about Dubai, a lot of people are quite negative about it. A lot of people are quite negative about Dubai. And it's always kind of confused me a little bit as to why they're so negative, because I'm like, I adore it here. Like, I absolutely adore it here. Like the culture, the possibilities, all of these things. And it's interesting because what I found is that the majority of people who are negative about Dubai have never really actually been to Dubai. They've never actually been there. Or if they've been there, they've been to a small part of Dubai and they just experienced a specific, part of it that obviously it just gave a bad impression. And what's that got to do with the coaching industry? Well, everything, because again, unless you've been living under a rock, in terms of listening to this podcast, or whether you follow me on Instagram or whatever, it's no secret I'm a big proponent of a ketogenic diet, low carb diet. No secret whatsoever. And it's interesting because so many people are negative about ketogenic diet. And again, I've never really understood why, because I've devoted 10 years of my life to understanding ketogenic diets on a very deep level. I've also lived very, very low carb, and it's had nothing but a positive impact on my life, whether that's been with the clients that I've been able to help, whether it's been in terms of just knowing in my back pocket, I've got this amazing tool that can guarantee that my clients will get results, or even for myself, being able to manage my body composition, being able to not be hungry, optimize my cognitive performance. All of these things have come from a ketogenic diet. So when I hear people speaking so negatively about it, I don't get it. I don't understand. But again, it's interesting. Pretty much everyone who is negative about a ketogenic diet, whenever I've come into communication with them, I ask them, I'm like, oh, so obviously the ketogenic diet didn't work for you. Like, what was it that didn't work? And they'll always say, oh, well, no, I've never tried it. I would never do it. So I think that the coaching industry has really kind of become just an army of just walking, not even just walking textbooks, but also walking regurgitations of other people's opinions. So because people like James Smith are so vocal on Instagram around ketogenic diets, rubbish, it's just about calories, most people have listened to that and just accepted that as fact. And then off the back of that, they've taken that on as if it's their own opinion. But it's not their own opinion. They've just heard someone else talk about that. And off the back of that, they've then just regurgitated what someone else has said. It's the same with Dubai, that most people haven't actually been to Dubai and they speak very, very negatively about it. So I wouldn't have a problem with someone being negative about Dubai if they'd lived here for a few years and gone, yeah, no, not for me. Because at least it's an authentic experience. They go, it wasn't the right experience for me. And it's the same with the ketogenic diet, that the people's whose opinions that I really do take on board that speak negatively about the ketogenic diet are the people who I actually see have researched it, tried it with themselves and tried it with other clients. And when they do have a negative experience with it, I respect that opinion. But I don't respect the opinions of people who have never tried it, who've never also actively gone out of their way to do their own research. And I found that with Dubai. But then on the second part, why else do I love Dubai so much from an entrepreneurial perspective? So a good friend of mine, Michael Lennon, he's been on this podcast a few times and we're business partners, which is awesome. He said to me, like, me and him were having quite a deep conversation about entrepreneurship. And I asked him, like, what is it about entrepreneurship that you love so much? And he was just like, I just love the process of turning that an entrepreneur is someone who takes nothing and turns it into something. And I think that there is no better place in the world than Dubai that shows that. 50 years ago, this place was a desert. Now it's probably the most popular destination for people to come in the world. It's one of the biggest business destinations in the world. That has happened like that. That has gone from a man or multiple men or multiple women having a vision that this is what I want it to look like. And I'm going to use all of my thought, time, and resources to manifest that into creation and make it happen. And I think that's the definition of entrepreneurship. Despite the bumps, despite the ups, the downs, despite the number of people who will say this is a ridiculous idea, they've done it. They've done that. And I think that's insanely inspirational. And I think that it is a walking advert of that. And it's interesting because we lived here 20 years ago. So when I lived here, not many people, like we first started coming to Dubai in 2001. And we lived here in 2007. So nearly 20 years ago is when I lived here. And it's amazing because we actually went back to my Aunt Sal and my Uncle Sonny, who live over here now. They took me to where we used to live. And it was a very, very surreal experience. It really was, I must say. And what was really surreal anyway was when I saw my school, which is pretty cool. But I think what was really surreal was just seeing that, like, we'd go on this main road and where we used to live was pretty much like the middle of the desert. We were literally in the arse end of nowhere, which was amazing. Like living in the desert was really cool, being surrounded by sand and all this stuff. But we used to drive down this main road and there was nothing but sand. Now there is nothing but buildings. And that's in a 20-year space. It was unrecognizable. And the level in which, the speed in which the amount of action has actually come to fruition is just incredible and nothing beyond inspirational for me personally. So again, I think there's two core lessons here. I think that first of all, whether it comes to your knowledge, don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those coaches who just blindly accepts what people what people say and blindly accepts it as your own opinion. Don't be one of those. Go and test all these things out. It's the same with a ketogenic diet. Like, yes, you probably have heard me talk about it, but you don't blindly accept that because I say a ketogenic diet is incredibly beneficial, that you have to, that it is the be all and end all. Don't do that first. Go and apply it to yourself. go outside and go and really do your research on it. Like whether you come onto one of my courses and learn all about the ketogenic diet, or whether you go externally and you read books, research papers, listen to lectures, the long slog that I used to go on to level up my knowledge. Either way, before you go and then apply it to your clients and accept it as a tool that you're going to use with them, go and apply it to yourself, because you'll understand exactly how it really works. And you'll truly be able to make up your mind as to whether it's something that is worth using or not. I would be very surprised if you do the ketogenic diet properly, if you use it properly with your clients, that you don't have success. I would be very, very surprised, because when done properly, it's just so easy. Like you're not hungry, cravings aren't there, you're not tired, your energy goes up, you're not bloated, you sleep better, you have all of this, I don't know, physical and mental energy, and you just feel well. I would be very, very surprised. But just because I say a ketogenic diet is amazing, don't blindly accept that. Go and apply it to yourself first. And in general, form the habit as a coach of acquiring your information and coming to your own decision that I'm going to accept or reject this information off the back of all of the research that I've actually done first. Because an average coach, an average entrepreneur sees what everyone else is doing, listens to what everyone else is saying, and blindly accepts that as the truth and the best course of action. But remember, in the words of W.C. Henley, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. You are the master of your own fate, and you are the master of your own soul. So make sure that you're going in the direction that you choose to go in, with the information that you choose to accept or choose to reject. And secondly, frequently, as much as you can, get yourself in environments that inspire creativity, that inspire you to want to create, want to build, and get yourself in environments that showcase possibilities. It really wasn't hard for me to come out here. Like, it wasn't that, okay, it's expensive here. Yeah, it's expensive here, but it wasn't expensive and it wasn't challenging to come out here. If you want to go to Dubai, for example, if you want to go to other countries, make it happen. Remember, you run a business, you have a vehicle that can generate cash. It can generate cash on demand. Remember, as entrepreneurs, we don't have a job. Our salary is not tied to someone else. Our salary is tied to whatever we choose it to be. So if you want to go and get something, if you want to go and do it, go out and get it. Yeah? Go out and get it. In the words of Kim Kardashian, get off your ass and work. Get off your ass and go work. But it's true. Get off your ass. Go and ask yourself the question, how can I go and bring some cash in? Go and make your dreams a reality. Never forget, if every one of your clients gave you just one new client, you've doubled your business.
Have you got a client who isn't losing weight right now and you have absolutely no idea why? And maybe you're worrying that if nothing changes, they could drop off at any moment? Well, I've got a free nutrition masterclass for you where I reveal the secret nutrition strategy that guarantees that stuck client loses 2 to 4 pounds in the next 7 days without lowering their calories, upping their cardio, or even tracking macros. Click the link in the description to get access to the free Elite Nutrition Secrets Masterclass and get your client moving in the right direction, stopping them dropping off today.